तो दोस्तों अगर आप कनाडा में पीआर होना चाहते हो तो एज अ लास्ट ऑप्शन आप अपने बेबी थ्रू भी कनाडा में पीआर हो सकते हो। जी हाँ, अगर आपका बेबी कैनेडियन बॉर्न है तो ह्यूमैनिटेरियन एंड कॉम्पेशनेट ग्राउंड के अंदर बेस्ट इंटरेस्ट ऑफ द चाइल्ड के अंदर आप पीआर के लिए अप्लाई कर सकते हो। देखो इसमें इंजेक्शन पे मिल सकता है, इसलिए प्रॉपर प्लानिंग और वेबसाइट के बाद ही इस रूट पर जाना। दिस विल बी योर लास्ट ऑप्शन।
Imagine this shocker. Someone is telling us that one secret to getting Canadian permanent residence is having a baby on Canadian soil. That's what this post is saying, right? It sounds wild. And now the whole of Canada is asking, is our immigration system being manipulated? Today we're digging deep into what's been called the PR through babies scandal. We're going to pull back the curtain on how actually citizenship by birth works in Canada, how the rules are maybe being stretched, and why this matters to you. Whether you're dreaming of coming to Canada to maybe have a baby, or you're just trying to understand where Canada stands in all of this. Now, stay tuned because what I'm about to show you could clarify whether your Canadian-born child can open the door to Canada permanent residency for you or not. Now, here's how it began and why I'm even making this video in the first place. A social media influencer from India posted a video. The headline read, "If all else fails, go to Canada, have a baby, then apply for PR." Many Canadians were outraged because it plays into the fears of system abuse. It's like putting the knife in the wound of all the immigration brouhaha that is going on in Canada right now. But come to think of it, is there any truth in this? What are the facts? What's legal and what's not? Now let's start with the fundamentals. Birthright citizenship in Canada. What it is, how does it work, and can parents get PR through their Canadian-born babies? First of all, what is birthright citizenship? In Canada, we have what's called the right of the soil. If you're born in Canada, you become a Canadian citizen automatically, with very narrow exceptions. And that's been around for decades. It means even if your parents are non-citizens, the baby is Canadian. So the question is, could someone strategically travel to Canada, have a baby, and later use that baby's citizenship to help themselves to Canadian permanent residency? That's where the term anchor baby or birth tourism comes in. Now, critics say that this is a loophole. Supporters say that the phenomenon is rare and the system still requires more than just a birth to become PR. But here's what the data tells us. Canada's government says births to non-resident mothers make up less than 1% of all births in Canada. So yes, the numbers are small. But perception is big, and perception is driving this debate. Before we go further, let me just give this important detail. Having a Canadian-born child does not automatically give the parents permanent residency or citizenship. The parents still have to go through the normal immigration route if they want permanent residency. So the hack that influencer talked about, it's more complex than the video made it look like. Now let's zoom into the scandal moment. The influencer video went viral. If you've tried everything, consider going to Canada, giving birth, then apply under humanitarian and compassionate grounds. Imagine that. That was like a trigger. It angered Canadians a lot. On the flip side, some other people pointed out that, wait, hold on, the number of babies are tiny. Why are we even acting like Canada is being overrun by these anchor babies anyway? Now that video, as well as a couple of others, became a flashpoint for bigger tensions. It went beyond the immigration issues and it became almost a cultural, emotional, and political topic. Birthright citizenship is solid for real, but that's for the baby. Now, what about the parent's status? The child is citizen, yes, but if the parent is a foreigner, she remains a foreigner. No automatic PR for her. But what about this humanitarian and compassionate thing, or the H&C route that the post referred to? What is that? The H&C program is basically a last resort option for people that are already inside Canada who have no legal status or are about to be removed from Canada. It allows them to ask the government for permanent residency on compassionate grounds. In simple terms, they are saying, please, let me stay, because sending me away would cause serious hardship, especially to my Canadian-born child who depends on me. When someone submits, immigration officers look at each H&C case individually. They consider things like how long the person has lived in Canada, how established they are in terms of work, community, and other ties, whether they have children who are Canadian citizens or not, and what kind of hardship or trauma they would face if they are deported back home. H&C is not automatic, it's not fast, and it's not guaranteed. It's meant for exceptional, genuine cases, and it is definitely not a shortcut to Canada permanent residence. So yes, having a baby in Canada can be part of an H&C case application, but it's only one factor in that entire application. The parents still have to prove that they truly deserve an exception to stay in Canada, not just that they have a Canadian-born baby. But the Canadian government isn't stupid. The system isn't blind. Birth tourism is not a crime. It's allowed. But still, the government has taken steps. Visa officers flag late-term pregnancies in visitors. Hospitals require non-residents to pay upfront sometimes. Things like that. Now, here comes the heated part, the politics, because there will always be the political side. Some politicians, notably the opposition Conservative Party of Canada, say that Canada should earn automatic citizenship for children born to parents who aren't citizens or permanent residents. They point to peer countries like Australia, like the UK, New Zealand, and many others that have moved from unconditional birth citizenship to more conditional systems. However, on the other side, the governing Liberal Party of Canada and many civil society groups say that there is no need for that yet. Making a change abruptly because of a few bad eggs could hurt children who had nothing to do with their parents' status. They also say that it could even lead to statelessness, and these are real worries that could start happening when you start messing with birthright rules. So overall, whether it's the general public, the media, or even the politicians, there are two big camps in all of this. Camp 1 are the people who are outraged. They see this as a system abuse. They also believe that birth tourism or anchor baby schemes undermine fairness. Camp 2 are saying, leave it the way it is. They point out that the numbers are very small, maybe less than 1% of births in Canada. And they also argue that we must protect children who are born here, who are of course innocent of any schemes that their parents have. So generally, older Canadians want the rule to be tightened, but younger Canadians are more towards inclusive views, and both views matter. Well, there's no need to overflog the issue. I just want to give my honest take here. You see, that whole PR through babies idea that went viral was reckless. Honestly, it treats a child's birth like a shortcut or a strategy to stay in Canada, and that's just wrong. You don't play with a child's future to fix your own immigration status. But on the other hand, I also don't think that Canada should suddenly scrap birthright citizenship. Let's be real. The number of people who are doing this is very small, like we already pointed out earlier. And if we change the law too fast, we could end up punishing innocent children. Some might even become stateless, meaning that they don't belong to any country. And that's not what Canada stands for. So, what should you actually do if you're trying to come to Canada to have a baby and you were toying with the idea that your child could help you stay in Canada? Well, now that you know that your child does not give you a right to stay, you can have your baby and take them back home. They still have their Canadian citizenship and they can come back whenever they want. If your baby is born in Canada, that's great. Your child is a Canadian citizen, but that doesn't make you permanent resident like we've pointed out all along. You still need to qualify the normal way like other people. If you're in a complicated situation, maybe you're here on a visitor visa and it has expired, then you need to talk to a real immigration lawyer. There's something called the humanitarian and compassionate route for sure, but it's not automatic. It's a long, emotional, and uncertain process. Don't make life-changing decisions based on rumors and hearsays. And for Canadians watching this, let's stay fair. Yes, that video was reckless. And sure, a few people might try to game the system. But calling babies scams or immigrant cheaters, that's not fair. That kind of talk doesn't fix the system. It just fuels anger. we can demand fairness and keep our compassion. Both can exist at the same time. Bottom line, for those coming to give birth, please respect the system. Understand your options and don't gamble your future. Make choices that you can live with if things don't go as planned. So to wrap this up, Canada's birthright citizenship is still fine. The baby becomes Canadian, not the parents. And that's been the rule for many decades. Change might come, or it might not, but either way, don't fall for shortcuts or pressure. If this video gave you some clarity, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. And tell me in the comments, do you think that Canada should keep birthright citizenship or change it? I'm curious to know what you think, and I will be reading your comments below. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.